Right, good evening, everybody. Back at it again. Good session last night with with our primers. Had some good feedback from it. So today we've basically just got to get back on the horse, keep the training ticking over. Tomorrow will be a pretty light one, Tuesday, because that will be the day before the piece. So it'll be a reasonably short session. We still want to do a bit of time. We'll still be 20 plus minutes, I guess. And it'll really just be ticking along solid with a couple of bursts, couple of short bursts type of thing in there. Really just to get ready for the piece on, starting Wednesday. So my aim is to do mine on Wednesday, do it on the first day. And then we'll be away laughing. So so today, pretty simple. You can either do, depending on how you're feeling, you can do 3 of these or 4 of these, just 4 8-minute pieces. So just 8-minute pieces with a minute and a half rest in between. I would like to keep the rest a little bit shorter, but we're going to go with that. Really just because we want something steady. Don't want to be sitting around for too long. So, but we'll go 90 today. We can take that down in other parts. So it's really easy, these type of sessions, because obviously, if we do all of this, we do 32 minutes of work. We can break it up a bit, and we're just throwing in a little bit of rate down the bottom as well, just because that's what we're working up towards. But also, same thing, we're trying to do these 24, 26 rates, or, I don't want to complicate myself again, but this should be whatever ratings you do down here. Like if you are a low rater, if 30 is your sort of your max rate, maybe just go up in ones, that type of thing. But ultimately, what we want to be doing is, as I say all the way along, it's changing rate, easy speed, rhythm, using the acceleration and a few other things to get you that speed, the hand speed. Not so much more power as such, because we want to keep the heart rates. Heart rate's going to come up a little bit, but we don't want it to be a big climb, because we just don't want to do too much work sort of above our U2. We want to be near the top end of it, which is still working ourselves pretty hard, but we don't want to go across the top of it, and then obviously we'll start to suffer as we do a lot more training. That can be detrimental to what you're doing. One cool thing, I had a question online, and it was talking about how my knees don't lock out at the finish. Okay, so it's a good, interesting question, because we used to get a bit of shit about it in the pair, because historically in the boat, you want to get sort of hands away halfway down the shins before you break off. So, it's technically it was about getting set there, coming into the front, and really not changing the set. Okay, I find on the row machine, yes and no. I think you want to get set. You don't want to be doing that and hitting your knees across the back, but you want to be supple. So your arms don't need to be straight. They can just have like a slight tension, slight relaxation in them. The body can come forward on the way, and then just before you get to the front is when everything's set. You're setting really through this last third of the recovery into a nice easy position, where if you're already stretched, you're quite rigid, and then it's like, tight, depending on how tight and that sort of thing you are. So the whole knees thing at the back and legs down, if you snap the legs down and you don't bring the body and stuff through, it's 2 things, because there was another question about hip flexors. If you're really locking that back, your knees are going down, you probably haven't connected that the legs are driving the body, because if the legs are driving the body through here, this part from here down, there's really nothing happening. Like, it's just holding on and letting the arms come into the body, because all the power and everything is done through from there to there. Okay, once you hit about this point here, if you're watching the force curve, it's dropping off real fast. So all the power is created to about there, and then all that's doing, that part through there, is just holding what's been created. You're trying to hold the power for as long as you possibly can. There's no way you can add any more. Absolutely no way you can add any more. So it's really just holding through what's already been created, because we want to be smooth and we want to let it go just before the body. We don't want to be ramming it into the guts. But it's just taking that power that's through here to there. And like, that's the thing, if you do sort of straight arms or a bit of body, like, that's it. From that point onwards, all you're doing is just holding what's been created. So hopefully that answers two of the questions, where your legs will just be coming down, and then, like, supple. Everything should be supple and relaxed. Okay, the core's engaged here. That's going to happen. We don't want to be sort of slumped too much. And as I say, everything should be sort of loose coming forward, because, like, as I say, you let that go and it's gone. Okay, so we want to be using that to help us get off the back. Like, because it's going to pull you back over. So just loose, soft knee break. The momentum of that has carried us forward. It's just making that small movement there and letting the chain sort of draw us back to the front. All of a sudden, we've come over the pivot point on the sit bones, and we've just come in and we're just flying forward into the front. Okay, so the other question about that hip flexor being tight, if your feet are quite high, maybe check like your flexibility, but if your feet are quite high, you'll be quite flat, and then, of course, it might feel quite tight to get over here and then to get up to the front. So maybe look and see if it is worth putting your feet down a little bit, because if your feet are a little bit lower, you've got the core that's doing the work around the back here, and then that can come forward from there. So, that's maybe another thing to think of, because you can be quite tight. All it takes is to sit on the ground when you're flat and try and pivot over, and you can really feel it in through those hip flexors. So, yeah, okay, so that was a little bit of a pointer. I did warm up before. Now I feel a little bit underwarm, but that's fine. We'll be able to bash out this first 8-minute piece relatively easy. So let's just jump on. We're straight into it. We're going to intervals again. We're just on intervals time. We're just pushing that up to 8 minutes and 1 minute 30 rest. Okay, so ready to rock and roll. Good technique focus. Good training zone. And we'll be able to get this session out pretty easy, nice and relaxed. Just keep working. We're going to just work on focus, work on technique, and the rest will take care of itself. So let's rock and roll. So first one, we're just doing 8 minutes, around 20. Here we go. Ready? Rope. So just get into a good flow. Good rhythm. So think about those loose movements. The more we can chime it in down here, the more we can do at high rate without having to think like we've got to pull ourselves back up to the catch. Starting to push that zone. Feeling the rhythm. Feel the hang. Nice long arms. Good push. One long. Dry. Nice. And relaxing the feet. Loosen the toes. Not pulling us. Nice and smooth. Sitting tall. Feel the movement. Around the front. long. Feel the body. Good rhythm. Good. So, nice relaxed rhythm. Just sitting in that zone, tapping it along, feeling a good stretch. You know, the pieces like that, it allows us to feel that hang, you know, the way we are leaving the arms out the front while the legs and the body are driving back. Still something I need to work on to stop my arms taking too much of a grab. And it just takes time. Just takes time thinking about it, because it's very, very easy to learn something new, right? Real easy. We can do it straight away. It's very difficult to break bad habits. It's about getting rid of those bad habits. And they take time. Just constant thinking. Every 30 seconds or so, every minute thinking, what am I doing? Focus on that for 10 or 15 strokes. Right, so this is just 4 minutes at 20, and then 4 at 22. Here we go. Straight back onto the zone. Good easy rhythm. Good flow. Let's focus the front turn. Changing direction. Yeah, keep focusing. The feet, the seat, and the hands all working together. Hanging the lats, sitting tall. Feel the finish. Hands coming to us. Draw, not a pull. With the swing. So ready to make a change in rate. Easy movement. Now, free speed, remember? Good. Just moving quicker. Yeah, smooth. The pendulum. Good. Easy movement. Rolling to the front. Elastic. Length. With the change in direction. Good. Nice. Really good. So, have a check. How'd you feel? You know, was it easy to keep that speed? Just tap it along. You know, might have been a fraction quicker. That's fine, you know. That's all we really wanted to find. Just a bit more freedom of movement. It means you've got to be thinking about the front a bit more because you're rolling in there a bit quicker so we don't get stuck there. Moving the hands around the back. So, really good. So this one here, our third piece, just do 2 minutes at 20, 4 minutes in the middle at 22, and the last 2 minutes we'll go to 24. So just keeping a good chunk still at that 22 and below. In the last 2 minutes, just freeing it up again, looking for that easy speed. So same again. You know, it's only a bit over 160 odd strokes, so if you're working 30 or 40 strokes on each movement. Ready? Now, then. No, it's not actually that much for each part of the stroke before we have a breather. If we can hold it for all 160 odd, awesome. But I highly doubt it. So, good rhythm, 20 rate. Feel the body swing. Nice and smooth. Feeling the drive. Legs. Driving the body. So we're changing up. Now, loose. Good. Easy. Free speed. Good push. Long arms.
Hang. Good. Tapping it along. Continuous. Feeling the feet. Feel the swing. Breathing. Nice and loose. So ready to make another change. That's fine. Now, same again. Loose. Easy speed. Just tapping. Acceleration. Good. Hands, front and back. Changing direction. Good. Relax. Feel the rhythm. Nice. They're feeling a really good flow, not trying to add a whole heap of power. Just easy speed. Tapping it along. Just keeping the flywheel running, just tapping it across the top. And it just carries the speed. You know, if we let it die too much or we try and create too much, we can just end up burning out. But no, really good. Should have a good breathe on, but not feel tight or feel like you've done some work, but doesn't feel like you're feeling really fatigued from it. So 30 more seconds. This one's just really basic, just changing every 2 minutes. Just add a little bit more rate every time. So I'm going up 2 points every time. Make the call. If you're feeling pretty tired, you know, you call it a day. All good. Be back tomorrow. Otherwise, just go up one if you feel like it. It's only 8 more minutes. Here we go. Now. Feel the length. Carry. Focus the front turn. Feel the connect. Hands, feet, lower back, and seat. Good. Tall. There we go. So a bit of freedom. Now. Hold that momentum. Good. Tap it along. Feel the body. Good. Feel the front again. Feet. Hands around. Good carry. Changing again. Same again. Easy speed. Now, a little bit quicker movements and tap. Around the back. Speed through. Draw. Legs, body. Hands. Hang. Last two. Nice quickness. Now, hands. Start with the hands. Now the body. It's only speed, not power. Good. Good. Last minute. Keep it free. Loose. Feel the relaxed recovery. Supple. Good. Rhythm. Good. Yeah, really nice. You know, just feeling that extra speed. And I was watching my erg data. My average force didn't really change. Neither did my peak force. The drive speed went quicker and got better numbers. So, you know, ultimately, yes, you will end up working a little bit harder, but we want it to be more of a subconscious working harder than a forced working harder. So, yeah, good. Good training. Now you might have felt a bit flat at the start, but after that, feel like we're in a pretty good place. You'll be able to bounce around for the rest of the day. We'll go down, sit down, have a cup of tea, relax, ready for bed. So just, I'll give you a menu or a couple of clicks that save into the memory at the back. That'll sync it through to your erg data. Just remember, if you haven't, go and find erg data in your app store or wherever you find it. And then create your Concept 2 logbook. It is an important one actually for this 1,000 metre. If you haven't done it, you'll need to go in there and do it. So we'll just have a good warm down. Just nice and loose. Feeling a bit of a stretch now. Feel the hang in the arms. Stretch out the lats. Still feeling a bit of a core connection. We just don't have to lean back as far. Right. Good work, guys, team, everybody. It's ticking another day off the list. It was a good, steady, good row. Pretty easy. I like breaking things up a bit. Keeps it fresh. Later on, I guess once we've been past this 1K, we'll start to do a lot more longer things in a continuous motion rather than having short 8 minutes. We'll stretch it out 15s, 20s, that type of thing. With rest period depending on what we're sort of doing at the time. And we will push out some that are a little bit longer, continuous as well. They need to be done, and they also just test your resolve. Every time we have a little bit of a break, it gives the muscles time to, sort of recover slightly. Whereas what we're doing, if we were to do like 60 minutes constant, you're probably fit enough to find that you can hold a pace, but it's the little muscles that start struggling. If you're using a little bit too much in the shoulder, you'll feel your shoulders getting tight and sore. Some of the leg muscles, you might feel it in your calves or wherever it is. Just little things like that. They are the things that slow us down. Not so much like the fitness. If we aren't fit, obviously we're going to be puffing and panting and whatnot. But the little muscles that we have to build, they're the hanging muscles. I always talk about this hanging because it's like doing weights. You hang off it as much as you possibly can. And of course, this can hold a lot of power. But of course, the little muscles that help hang this in place, under here, the little ones that connect your lats down into the side of your body and whatnot, they're all the parts that you need to have a long, endurance resistance to them that they can handle, 400 or 500 strokes in one go. And that's what we sort of will look towards. And that's what happens, we'll just build it over time. We start short, we get longer, we do high stuff, we do low stuff, we do heavy stuff, we do sprint stuff. There's a huge range of things that we can do. So good work today. Nice. Keep the questions coming. Love it. Answer anything I can. Tell your mates to subscribe. And we'll keep trucking. Awesome. Okay. Thanks, team. I'll see you back here tomorrow.